Started. Top 10 wrestlers.
This was a hard list.
Very.
Very hard list to make. Whittling down all of the great wrestlers down to just a top 10 was really hard.
Yes.
And I got a crap load of honorable mentions that I'm going to have to, because they have to be mentioned. Even if they're not in my top 10, they have to be mentioned just
Agreed.
because of how good they are. But getting down to 10 was so difficult.
I agree. Like, even right now, I've worked hard on my list all week, and I've really struggled. I knew who my top 4 were, but it really was tough trying to figure out 6 through 10. And even now, looking at my list, I'm like, I forgot this guy. I forgot that guy. I might piss people off because I left this guy off. So
Yeah, there's a couple people I'm thinking I need to move some people around, but I'm sitting there also looking at it like, who can I move? Like, I'm so upset that I can't move some of these people.
Right. Well, you know what? Let's get it kicked off with our honorable mentions.
Okay, I got a long list. So, one of these guys, this first guy I'm going to mention, I didn't think he would reach the level that he has, but he has just become such a great wrestler, especially recently, that it's hard to ignore what he's done. I got to go with Randy Orton. Randy Orton is an honorable mention. Like, he just barely missed the top 10. When he first came, I'm just like, okay, he's a Nepo baby, whatever.
Yeah, third generation star.
Yeah, he's here because of his dad and granddad and all of that, but he's become one of the best, especially recently. The latter half of his career has been fantastic. The early part was meh.
See, I think once he became the Legend Killer, I thought
The Legend Killer
from
is
that
when he
point
started
on,
to take off. Yes.
Yeah,
But
that was amazing.
yeah, Legend Killer was really great. But then when he went ultra uber bad guy,
The '09 run.
the punt kick run.
The '09 run. Yeah, that was.
Punt kicking Stephanie.
He didn't.
Or
He
Vince.
didn't punt. He punted Vince.
He kissed her.
He
Okay.
DDT'd
Yeah.
Stephanie McMahon
Yeah.
right in front of her husband,
Yeah.
and then kissed her.
Yeah.
Like, that is diabolical right there.
Yeah.
Like, that's top tier villain work right there.
That's why I love Randy.
So I'm like, he has to be on here. Next guy, I'm upset. He missed my top 10, but only because he didn't get the career that he should have had. Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero was so good.
Now I'm sitting here like I didn't put Eddie Guerrero on my list, and now this is what I mean. Now I'm upset. Like,
Eddie Guerrero was
So
so
great.
good. So great.
so great.
If he had the rest of his career, he undoubtedly he'd be in my top 10, probably close to my top 3.
Oh man, he's a legend in the game. Even
Absolutely.
everyone. I just seen didn't MJF try his old little thing, the chair shot.
Yeah.
Either he hit me with the chair to the ref.
they do that.
The Three
Everyone still
Amigos.
does the Three Amigos.
Yep.
Every time pretty much anyone does a frog splash, they got to give the Eddie shake. The little
Mhm. Absolutely.
great, very influential. Next, remember I'm saying this honorable mention list is going to be long. Samoa Joe.
Good-
I forgot
yeah.
Samoa Joe.
Good
Samoa,
pick. Good pick.
Samoa Joe's so good.
Good pick.
Samoa Joe's so good. He has so many great moments, but I'm like, I can't put him on top 10, but he has to be mentioned.
Just the
Absolutely.
little thing he does that I absolutely love is when someone jumps off the top rope and he just walks away.
Just
Way.
the walk
I
away.
love it.
The walk
I
away
love
is
it.
so great. It's so simple, but it makes sense.
Right.
Next, Sting. Sting was my first favorite wrestler ever. Sting. I still remember my older sister and I watching WCW Saturday night at my grandmother's house, and Sting was on the TV. Surfer Sting.
Yeah.
Bleach blonde,
blonde.
with the colorful pants, the colorful face paint. Oh, such a memory.
How can you not love Sting?
How can you not
Yeah.
love Sting?
I mean, Wolfpack Sting with the red and black paint and the leather. The
Crow
leather
Sting
coat.
was great.
Oh man,
Absolutely.
I love almost every version of Sting.
Absolutely.
Absolutely love him.
Became a madman later in his career in AEW.
Yeah.
Like, you're 60 years old. Why are you jumping off of balconies?
Yeah.
We saw it live.
Yeah,
that one year we
yeah.
saw
He
it
came to
live.
Pittsburgh and we saw it live. He jumped off. I'm like, no, he's
He
not.
jumped on a private
And he
party
jumped
with somebody
right
else.
off the balcony. I'm like, dude, you're pushing 60. Calm it down. Bret Hart.
Okay.
I like Brett. I like Sting better than Brett. But he is the excellence of execution. But he's not a top 10 all time.
All right, here's where I'm going to piss people off. I like Bret Hart. He's one of the most boring characters ever. I'm sorry. He's an excellent wrestler. He was so boring to me. He was so boring. I didn't care. The pink was like his personality, and that was it.
See, like, so like,
Look at Malik's face.
no, like, see, I didn't watch a lot of him in the Hart Foundation days in the '80s when he was with Neidhart and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I remember when he had the solo run. You know, of course, who didn't love Bret Hart back in the '90s? You know,
Him, apparently.
But,
Yeah, apparently me.
Oh, he was like 2 when it happened. You know, when he was
Very
in the
true.
solo run.
That is true.
I can understand because like now, like if you go back and watch a lot of stuff, you're kind of like, yeah, Bret was a great worker, but
dude, if I'm doing top 10 technical wrestlers,
yeah,
Bret Hart is making that list all day, every day. Him as a whole, he just didn't do it for me.
I got you.
Like, you know,
I get it. He doesn't have a very flamboyant personality. He wasn't incredible on the mic, so I get it.
I wanted those glasses. I wanted
Every kid wanted them glasses.
Yeah.
I believe our friend Rob Rankin had a pair.
He's the one I always argue with on Facebook.
Bret Hart's his favorite wrestler of all time, I believe. But
it is, and I love arguing with him.
I believe he told me when we was in high school that he had a pair of those Bret Hart glasses.
Jealous, Rob.
I kind of am too.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
Couple more. Gotta go with The Undertaker.
Okay.
I mean, that man lived a character until
the
very last day.
Yeah, absolutely.
He never broke character, ever.
The weird thing is, like, his last couple years, it's not obviously his last couple, but he started having, like, some of his best matches, like, against, like, Shawn Michaels and Triple H at WrestleMania. Yeah. Like, they were some of his best matches.
Absolutely. They were definitely some of his best matches. And last on my list of honorable mentions, I'm leaving a bunch of people off, but that's just for sake of brevity. Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is absolutely incredible.
The man.
That moment when she got her face busted open by Nia Jax and was just standing in the crowd, just cool with it. And I'm like, yo, she's a star. Like, I liked her before then, but that just elevated her to a whole nother level because she's sitting there like, I'm the man. And then that happened, and she's just standing there bleeding like, I don't care, I'm still the man. Like, it just cemented everything for me.
So I can't argue because she's the only female wrestler who I have a shirt of, and I have the man shirt.
Yeah.
I love her. So to me, I didn't put any women on my list because I want to, like, do them respect and give them their own list.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
fair. That's fair.
That's how I looked at it. I could, you know what I mean?
We could say that for another day.
We could save that for another day, but I also wanted to make sure I highlighted her to say that she's on equal ground with these people.
Oh, no.
So I don't want to exclude her completely because I don't want people thinking that I'm looking down on her because she's a female. She is by far one of the best women's wrestlers ever. And I'm putting her over people like Lita, Trish Stratus. I put her above them. So I feel she's better on the mic than both of them.
So you're not getting an argument here. What I'm saying, because I believe, me personally, I always felt the 4 horsewomen of wrestling, Sasha, Becky, Charlotte, and Bayley, I always felt they held matches on par or sometimes better than the men. You know,
Charlotte's overrated.
So you know what? No.
Charlotte is overrated.
No. Charlotte holds
She's a nepo baby.
matches.
She's a 100% nepo baby.
She holds excellent matches.
She holds solid matches.
She holds excellent matches.
Solid. Her excellent matches are with excellent opponents.
Go back and watch them in NXT.
Oh, I did. I saw them come up through NXT.
So did I, and they've all held great matches.
She's held great matches with great partners.
Well, yeah, everyone.
Her great matches are with the rest of the 4 horsewomen.
Yes. everyone needs an excellent, partner. She wasn't going.
Becky Lynch brought excellent matches out of other people though.
She ain't had
Sasha
no great-
Banks. Sasha Banks, or now Mercedes Moné, literally got Stephanie Vicaire on WWE's radar.
Yeah.
On her own.
Well, she's my favorite of them.
No
so I'm not
one
gonna... But
was
what I'm saying is
interested in Stephanie Vicaire until she had that match with Mercedes, and then all of a sudden WWE was interested.
What I'm saying is none of them was going to have excellent matches with Brie Bella. You know what I'm saying? Like they held solid matches with her, but you weren't going to carry her to a 5-star match.
Charlotte is still overrated. I'm not saying she's bad. She's just overrated.
She's one of the 4 greatest ever because it's those 4. Lita and Trish in there too, wherever you want.
I'll put Lita and Trish over her easily.
That's not an insult to her though. She's
That's
still
not.
She's still one of the greatest women.
She's still near the top. Don't get
We're
me
gonna
wrong.
do a list of the greatest women, and then we're gonna argue about it.
Okay.
But again, I'm not saying that the women are less or anything. I just separate them. That's all.
One thing I do like about Lita and Trish was when they first came into business, they were managers. Because Trish managed TNA, right?
Yeah, she did.
Yep.
Testing Albert.
And
Yep.
Lita was with the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
Even before that, she was with S.A. Rios.
Yes, she was.
Yes, she
about
was.
Them. Yeah,
Her whole
Trish
thing-
was with S.A.
No,
Lita was. Lita was.
Because remember,
You know what?
S.A.
Yeah,
Rios
you're
would
right.
beat you with his moonsault,
Yeah.
and then she would hop up after he pinned him, and she'd do it herself.
Yeah.
But for them to start off as managers, just to get where they're at now, and their legacy is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You do got to give them credit for
Yeah.
that. They
they're
came
pioneers.
in
Yeah.
as just valets. They were there to probably just be eye candy because we all know Vince is a perv.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they grew into 2 of the best women's wrestlers ever.
Yes. Agreed.
That's the end of my honorable mentions because honestly, I can go on forever, so I'm gonna just cut it off there.
All right. You want me to go?
Yeah, good.
All right. So for my honorable mentions, first off, and it sucked leaving each one of these guys off my top. Any of them could be replaced into the top 10, and I wouldn't argue it. But first off, Bryan Danielson. Or Daniel Bryan, however you want to look at him.
Great wrestler.
Absolutely one of my favorites. I absolutely love the yes movement and then
Absolutely.
the no movement.
Have a shirt.
You said you have the shirt?
Have the yes shirt, absolutely.
Yeah. There's nothing bad I could say about him. When he got hurt and was gone, it sucked. I was so happy to see him return.
Right.
Seeing him come back was a great moment.
Absolutely.
Well packaged.
Number 2, and I'm just gonna lump these 3 dudes in it. Everyone in the Shield.
Okay.
Oh, you're just
Seth,
lumping them all together?
Dean, and Romans. They're all in my honorable mention, so it's just easier to say the entire Shield. And the only reason that they're not in the top 10 is just because of my top 10 are like all legends right now.
Okay.
Got you.
And those dudes are working their way to replacing some of these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Roman, I just feel you can't deny what he's done.
You can't deny the growth he had.
Oh my God!
Because he
And
was
I
by
agno-
far the weakest of the 3 at first.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
By
but,
far was the weakest.
but I acknowledge him, even though he punched me in the face. I haven't gotten over that, but I acknowledge him.
It's on Facebook somewhere. Someone usually posts a picture every year with.
Oh, yeah. Roman Reigns punching you in the face was by far some of the funniest things there. I think I was there. I think I was at that episode of Raw when you got punched in the face. I'm pretty sure I was.
Seth, to me, is my favorite of them, and
agree.
he's been even before they were called up and were the Shield. As a matter of fact, when I actually wrestled, my finisher was the curb stomp. And then he was called up 2 weeks after my first match, and I was like, not using that anymore.
This when he was Tyler Black.
No, he was still.
Yeah, he was Seth at that time.
He was still Seth
but
Rollins.
I
in
liked
WWE.
him when he was Tyler.
I liked him when he. Yeah, I liked him in ROH as Tyler Black.
Yeah, it was literally like I did it in a match, and then 2 weeks later the Shield debuted, and I was like, well, there that goes.
There
I was like, well, but next up, and I know a lot of people don't like him. I don't really care. There's a reason he's on my list, and not just because he carried the WWE for 10 years or 10 plus years, however long. John Cena.
He grew on me.
And the reason John Cena made it is because we've seen him change from Thugnomics to the John Cena that he is today, and charisma-wise, he's one of the greatest ever.
Yes,
for sure.
You know, and I know people, oh, well, he can't wrestle. Well, then you missed his U.S. title reign.
That U.S.
Because
title run
he
was great.
wrestled his ass
The
off.
open challenges and all
Yes,
that. Oh,
right,
yeah.
during
those
that
were great.
title reign. And that's the reason that he is on my list, just because of that U.S. title reign. And my last, on my honorable mention, it hurt me to say this. Oh, I'm sorry, I got two more. But this one, it really, really hurt me to say this. Kurt Angle. I know. He should be on my top 10. But when I made my top 10 and I did all the research for it, I don't know how he slipped. Because he is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I know Malik's upset because he probably has him a lot higher. I know. And I'm not going to argue with you that he doesn't deserve to be higher. Because now that I look at my list, I'm like, I can replace a few of these people with Kurt. But I had already done my research, so I'm not going back on it.
Okay. All right.
Last but not least, I got Macho Man. Absolutely love Macho Man.
How the hell did I leave him off my list?
That's an honorable mention?
He don't even have him on the list.
Oh, my. All right.
How
Wait
did
till
I
you get
leave-
to mine.
You got to see who I got on my list, though.
Yeah,
You got to see who I got on my list.
Yeah,
You
I
know-
should have had him at least as an honorable mention. I feel ashamed.
You know what?
Yeah, you should.
I'm making a change right now. Kurt Angle is no longer on my honorable mention. He's going to number 10. My last honorable mention is the bad guy. Razor Ramon.
What a great.
Absolutely loved him. That's why he was originally on my top 10, but I completely forgot about Kurt Angle.
I just got to add him to my honorable mentions because I didn't have him there either.
Oh, man.
He needs to be added to my honorable mentions. And I'm going to add one more to my honorable mentions because I feel this guy does not get enough respect, and he deserves his respect. Sean Waltman, X-Pac, Six,
Okay.
1-2-3 Kid, whatever you want to call him. No one gives this man the respect that he's deserved. He is by far a phenomenal wrestler.
Oh, absolutely.
And everyone treats him like he was just a jobber. X-Pac was incredible.
I think people tend to only remember him in DX, and he was like the small person in DX.
Yeah.
But
when
they
you're
don't
surrounded
think
by
about
guys
1,
who
2,
are
3
6'9"
Yeah.
and 7 feet tall, of course you're going to look small. Sean Waltman is not small.
Yeah.
He was like 6'2".
Yeah.
Was he really that tall?
He's like 6'2",
I thought he was
6'3".
I thought he was like 5'10".
No, he's like
Nah, I know.
6'2".
I didn't know Billy Gunn was like 6'7".
Yeah, Billy
like-
Gunn's 6'7". Like,
Yeah.
people, like, when you're standing next to people who's 6'9" all the time, yeah, you're going to look tiny.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Razor Ramon, loved him. 2-time Hall of Famer, NWO, and by himself. He had me carrying toothpicks in my mouth
Oh, yeah.
as I was in like 4th or 5th grade, and I'm walking around school all day with a toothpick for no reason. You know, he's the reason I love to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's cool.
I think he made it cool to be the bad guy. So yeah, but
That's a great pick. I like your honorable mentions. I do.
it hurt to leave them off my
It
list.
did.
I'm
It
like,
did make me feel bad to not even mention Macho Man in my honorable mentions.
Shame on you.
I
Shame
mean,
on you.
That is a shame,
better
but
have
that's just because of the litany of great wrestlers. There
You
are.
better not have
Right.
Ultimate Warrior on that list.
I swear to God, if one of you have Ultimate Warrior on your list, I'm gonna flip this table.
All right, I'm gonna start my honorable mention. First I got Mae Young. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
She did have a hand.
Mae Young actually is underrated. She's a good wrestler.
She was.
It was tough as all hell.
Yeah,
From what I
yeah.
heard, she was a good person too.
Yeah, I mean,
unlike
you
the
see,
other
You
one.
see Rosie or Jamal, which one was it? Umaga, they freaking threw all the 350 plus pounds all on her when she was in the turnbuckle and all that shit.
Yeah. Don't forget about Bubba Ray powerbombing her.
Anyway, okay, so on the bottom, I got Owen Hart. I had Owen in my top 10, actually. I actually like Owen better than Brett. I think Owen was a better worker.
I agree.
I think Owen was a better talker. But
That part I agree with. I think
um,
Brett's a better worker.
I think they were neck and neck.
but
So
but obviously Brett had better charisma, obviously, because Owen had some bad.
I think Owen had much better charisma.
Owen was part of
Owen
the
was
Nation
just
of Domination.
Yes.
Owen was just giving bad stuff.
Yeah, like Blue
Owen was what?
Blazer,
Yeah, the Blue
Rocket.
Blazer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was so much the better, more charismatic than Brett.
I agree with. I think it was Owen. So.
Yeah. Then I got Brett on there too, obviously.
Okay.
For honorable mention, I got Eddie Guerrero.
Okay.
This one here, he's going to be top 10 when he's done, but he's still young right now. I got MJF on here. When he's done, like I said,
I could foresee him being a top 10 when he's done.
Yeah, it's too young.
I think it's too early to even put him on honorable mentions.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I really like him.
Because there's another guy. There's another guy that I'd put in that list too, but he's not. It's not time yet.
Adam Cole, baby.
I'm not even talking about him.
All right, so after MJF.
Okay. Yep.
I got CM Punk. I hated CM Punk first.
I left him off my list.
I originally had him in my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
But as I kept adding people, I was like,
this list is getting too long.
Only because he took off so long.
Okay, that's
but
fair.
CM Punk's easily one of the people I enjoy watching.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I have no argument there.
Great on the mic.
Great on
good
the
on
mic.
the.
Dude, the pipe bomb is still like
iconic.
I go back and just randomly listen to it.
Good worker.
Still iconic.
Great worker.
Great worker. I think he has lost a step and it's noticeable, but he's still solid.
You take a 10-year break.
Late 40s too. So.
Yeah, but even still, there's some people that's older that still can go. They just modify their style.
Plus, he gets extra points for just being with AJ Lee.
Absolutely.
I still don't know how he pulled her.
More power to him, man. So after that,
Aleister Black's even more confusing.
I got Bryan Danielson, like you had on yours. Just complete package, just overall, just great.
Absolutely.
Undertaker, Eddie Guerrero, Booker T. In the last one, I felt like he never got his props more because he never was a world title holder. Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
Kurt Hennig was great.
Great.
Yeah.
Great character.
Yeah.
Great worker.
I don't know.
I don't know why they didn't push him. He had the look and everything. I don't know why they didn't push him.
It was. Yeah, he was great.
That perfect plex was gorgeous.
The perfect plex. No one. There's literally no one that does a fisherman suplex like he does. Yeah. No one.
And I don't know.
Only person that has a type of bridge suplex that looks close, which is weird for me to say, is Alicia Fox. Her Northern Light suplex was a thing of beauty.
She was on her tippy toes every single time she hit it. It was perfect. Her bridge was perfect.
Yes, her Northern Light suplex was absolute perfection. She couldn't do anything else, but that Northern Light suplex was absolutely perfect.
She had a decent leg drop.
Sure.
But yeah, those are all my honorable mentions. But just those are all mine. So if you want to start the top 10s, whoever wants to go first, it don't matter to me.
You can start off your top 10. How do you want to do this? Do you want to just go through the whole list?
Yeah, I'm going.
Or do you just want to go? We each give our 10 and then discuss.
I don't care. Let's switch it up. Let's each give our 10 and then
discuss and then each move down. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead with your 10.
Okay. I'm doing a whole 10. Or
nope, just your number 10.
Yeah. I hate this man with a passion now, but I can't ignore what he's done for the business. I hate him I hate him now. He's a racist piece of crap.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you do not.
No, you don't.
Yeah, he's the reason I got into the whole thing.
No,
you don't.
Yeah.
No.
He's not my favorite. I have to acknowledge it, unfortunately. No. He's the reason I even started watching wrestling.
He can't wrestle.
I know that. I didn't believe it.
He cannot. He had the worst finisher of all time.
Yes.
I agree.
No.
I can't. I just...
Go ahead. Say the name.
Trash Hogan.
No.
But
no.
Again, I can't deny.
If you're talking about impact and what he's done for the business, I can 100% understand.
The heel turn.
If you're talking about the package, no, because he couldn't wrestle.
Couldn't wrestle.
He wasn't that great on the mic.
No,
he wasn't.
You know what I mean?
He
and then on top of it, what he said was 100% a fucking lie. And I'm not talking about character. I'm talking about your job as Hulk Hogan was to be the guy to inspire children. Say your prayers, take your vitamins. What you mean is cheat on your wife and take your steroids.
Oh, absolutely. But at that time, I didn't know anything.
And hate your daughter's boyfriend because
he's black.
Because he's black.
But still,
racist. No. He's never going to. I'm never going to mention him on
that's
anything.
Just as bad as having Ultimate Warrior on the list.
Oh, no, fuck him.
Well,
I don't like neither one of them, but I'm just saying. I was a bigger Hogan fan.
Just because he hates Hogan and because I like him anyway, Iron Sheik is going on my honorable mentions.
I'm cool with that.
I'm okay with that too.
Fuck Hulk Hogan. Rest in peace, Iron Sheik.
Right. R.I.P. Iron Sheik. Just because he been telling us for years Hulk Hogan sucks.
Yeah.
And we didn't listen.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Nobody. That was the thing. He was for kids.
Here's my thing. Other than maybe the match at WrestleMania, can you go back and watch a single Hulk Hogan match right now?
Well, which WrestleMania match?
With The Rock.
There's literally only 2.
No, all his matches weren't good. Like,
They were awful. So he doesn't. No.
Literally, the Hogan match, the Hogan Rock match, and the Hogan Andre the Giant match. Those are literally the only ones I can watch.
I actually watched that not that long ago. That match wasn't really that great.
It was
I didn't say it was great.
Right. It was just he picked him up.
And funny thing was he I don't think he was even the first one to pick Andre up. I think it was, I don't know if it was Tony Atlas or Kamala.
And it wasn't even the first time that he did it.
Yeah, he did like 3 years before.
They just hyped it up like it was the first time.
Right. And he really didn't even pick him up. He kind of just tumbled him over.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But whatever.
And Andre was at the end of his career anyway at that time anyway.
Right.
He could barely walk by that time.
You need to change that.
All right, I'll take it off. I'll take it off. I can't ignore what he got me into being a fan, but I'll take him off.
I can.
I 100% I can. You can't.
And I love his heel turn.
You can't leave Eddie Guerrero off and then put him on. No,
his heel turn was great. He still had the greatest heel turn ever.
The greatest heel turn?
Greatest?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the greatest.
It wasn't the greatest.
I wouldn't say the greatest. It was a damn good one.
No,
it was a good one.
But again, there's only one heel turn that brought a tear to my eye. And then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh snap, he was a heel," and that was Mark Henry. that retirement speech, I was in tears.
That would
I'm
have
like,
been great if they would let him get over, and they didn't even let him get over.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
that's Vince.
Yeah, it's fucking Vince. You know what I mean?
Hell, Roman Reigns has a better heel turn right now.
Yeah, there's so many better heel turns.
Hollywood Rock.
Great. What's his name? The Kevin Owens turning on Chris Jericho. That was a better heel turn.
No.
It was a better heel turn.
Anyways, what's your number 10?
Seth Rollins breaking up the Shield.
That was a great heel turn, but I still got HBK and Hogan over that.
Nah.
Yeah.
Not Hogan. Not Hogan.
No.
Yeah. Anyway,
my number 10?
Sure.
Yeah.
My number 10 is, I'm cheating. I know I'm cheating, but I don't care. I'm going with the New Day.
You know what?
The New Day is fantastic.
Can we talk about how much we hated the New Day when they first came out?
They hated the New Day when they first came out.
We were so against that. I remember us talking. We were like so against that. We were like, this is so stupid. Why are they doing this? And then it was maybe like a month later. Month or two later.
It was longer than that.
Was it? Okay.
They were trying to have them be baby faces, and people weren't buying it. And then when they turned them heel, that's when we were like, okay, now we're going somewhere.
And I remember we both had the shirt.
I still got that shirt.
I still got the shirt too. Yeah,
had it.
Absolutely love New Day. To me, I don't think Kofi gets the respect that he deserves.
I agree.
I'm glad he did eventually win the title, which I never thought they was going to let him.
Right.
But I
But
felt
that
it was
run
a
was
little
terrible.
I felt it was a little bit too late. He
And
should
they
have
gave
won
him a
it.
bad run.
He should have won it when he feuded with Randy Orton.
But Randy, that's part of the thing where I was saying Randy grew because Randy killed that push.
Yeah, but was it Randy's decision? I don't know. I don't
Yes,
know. It was okay.
Randy Orton went back and told them he's not ready because he missed that one spot in the match. Remember where he flipped off?
Stupid. Yeah, I remember. Okay, well, you know what?
And
Maybe Randy was right.
I don't know.
I think when he won it, it was magical.
Oh my goodness!
I hate the way they ended it. It was so disrespectful. But I mean, I remember watching a video of MVP and Shad. They were backstage and they're crying.
Yeah,
were they backstage?
No, not backstage. They were watching it on TV. I'm sorry. They were on TV. Yeah.
Yeah, and you shed a tear because you know how much it meant to people like us.
Dude,
absolutely.
Dude, I remember like leading up to it, I was like, they're not gonna let him win. I was like, they're not gonna let him win. I was like, I'm not even gonna get my hopes up because I know they're not gonna let him win. And when the ref counted 3, I was like, and I was just staring at the TV, and I was like, there's no way that they just let him win. Was I over your house for that?
I think we did. I think that was one of the ones we had here. Yeah,
and that was WrestleMania 35, if I recall, because that was when Becky won too.
Yeah,
because everyone was all pissed because they did that Vince threw Charlotte in. last minute with that triple. It was with her, Ronda, and
Yep.
Becky. Everyone was like, "This is Becky's time."
Yeah.
Like nobody
Nepo
wants
baby.
to see. Yeah,
Like I was
Nepo
saying,
baby.
Charlotte's a nepo baby.
Sorry.
Yeah, but they were trying to push Rousey. Charlotte came in to make the match better.
Yeah, it was,
They could have had a solid
yeah.
match, but no one wanted Charlotte. She wasn't needed.
Agreed.
They had the heat in the match. Charlotte wasn't needed. They just had to throw her in there to just try to make sure she got in there.
If you watch Ronda work a full match,
Yes. She's
not
not great. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But Becky is good enough to have a solid match. Would it have been an all-timer? Probably not. But she could have still had a solid match with her.
yeah. All right. My number 10, like I said, I changed it from Razor Ramon to Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle's your number 10?
I would have to rework this list. He needs to be a lot higher.
Much
I
higher.
love everything about Kurt Angle from,
His
the
ring
moment he
work.
came in and every single thing was, I won the Olympics with a broken freaking
Freaking
neck, to the milk truck, which was a hilarious play on Stone Cold's beer truck. Him losing the hair match and then because he was actually balding.
Right.
And
Stayed
walking around
bald.
with the wig on, with
Right.
the wrestling headgear holding it on.
Yep. To even his time in TNA when he was doing backflips off the cage. And you're like, what are you doing,
People
dude?
need to see his TNA run.
Oh, my God.
His TNA run was fantastic. Most people don't know about him. Still, one of my favorite matches of all time was him versus Samoa Joe in that lockdown match, where they had it more like an MMA fight. Oh, it was great.
So take him being number 10 with a grain of salt because, honestly, he should... looking through my list, he should be number 5. He should be number 5. So, yeah. But,
All
All right.
So we on number 9.
9. All right. My number 9, I'll just kick it off.
Yes, sir.
The Rated R Superstar,
I knew it.
Edge.
I knew it. I knew it.
I love Edge. You think you know me from
Metalingus.
Come on, man. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason. Him
not a
coming
bad
back
pick.
at the Royal Rumble, and I was definitely over your house for that.
We lost our shit when that
We
happened.
stopped and we were like, "Oh shit, is Edge really back?" Like, yeah, no, there's no way I could leave Edge off. I mean, come on, man. He's a 4-time WWE champ, 7-time World Heavyweight champ. His run, his Matt Hardy when he took Lita,
Yeah.
that was great. The stuff him and Lita was doing to make him the Rated R Superstar. That was
the live sex celebration.
yes. His spear of Jeff Hardy from the title.
Yeah.
And the tag. You talk about the
TLC
tag
matches.
TLC match.
Dude, I love Edge.
Great
I'm
match.
sorry, what is he called now? Copeland. Or
Cope.
Cope.
Rated R Cope.
Cope.
Rated R
Yeah,
Cope.
Rated R Superstar. Cope.
He's one of the... Growing up, it was like, I liked the Hardy Boys better, but he always stood out to me. Even when he was, him and Christian were in the Brood, he was always, to me, it was like anytime he was on screen, he was shining.
Yeah.
So,
Real quick, people are making such a big deal of him going by Cope right now. I'm like, well, first of all, it's his last name shortened.
Yeah.
The man was called Edge his entire career.
Yeah.
That makes just as little sense as Cope.
yeah.
But no one questioned it. But now that he wants to go by Cope, everybody's like, "Oh, that's stupid."
I don't care what they say, because let's not forget, he is the first ever Money in the Bank winner.
Yes,
The first ever. 2-time Royal Rumble winner, even
the
coming
ultimate
back.
opportunist.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Just one of my favorite of all time.
I can't disagree with that. I don't have him on my list, but I'm not mad at that him being on
I'm
yours.
okay with that. All right. So actually, I'm going to take Hogan off my list.
Shouldn't have been there in the first
Should
place.
not have been there.
Just because of because I was a Hulkamaniac, but I still hate him. But anyways, I'm putting Owen Hart at 10 because I still like Owen better than Brett.
Okay, that's fine.
I would even take Brett.
Yeah. Nah. Okay. Anyway, so number 9. A lot of people, if you really watch wrestling, you know about him, but I feel like he does not get the shine he deserves.
So I see who you have written down there.
Yeah.
And do you understand? He was my 10 when
Really?
I originally made this list. He
Yeah.
was my number 10, so you
Really?
have no argument here.
All right. Yeah, we always talk about his
I'm not
match
gonna
with Macho Man at WrestleMania 3. His rivalry with Flair in the NWA days, his WCW run I got to put Ricky the Dragon at 9.
When we first said this, I was like, all right, where am I putting Steamboat? And then I started making my list, and I was like, crap, forgot him.
Yeah.
So
he never gets the acknowledgement that he really deserves.
great wrestler.
Great wrestler. And oddly, never went heel.
No.
Never turned heel.
Yeah, you get no argument here.
Right.
I absolutely love him.
Yes.
Yeah. You'll get no argument from me either. He's not on my list, but he definitely deserves to be there. Nope, he's not on my list, but he definitely deserves to be.
He was supposed to be on mine, 100%. It was like literally when y'all said we were doing this, I was like, all right. I was like, I know who these guys are, and I was like, where am I putting Steamboat? I was like, maybe I'll put him in that 8 or 9 range,
right?
And then I started making it, and he accidentally got left off, but no argument.
Okay, my turn.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Number 9. This man has revolutionized a type of wrestling in this country. Rey Mysterio.
I had no problem with that at all.
I mean, I'm not arguing at all, so I don't want it to seem like I'm arguing. I'm trying to find the words I want to say. I don't think there will be another luchador in this country with the mask as big as him.
I agree.
So
that shows the impact that he has.
Right. Dose was playing with his wrestlers the other day, and I hear him screaming 619, 619, and I'm like, okay. I know he's at least playing with the Rey Mysterio. I hope so. I don't know who he was playing it with, but
yeah, Rey Mysterio brought Lucha Libre to America. Yes, he had some cohorts and Psychosis and Juventud Guerrera and such, but he made it popular.
He did.
He made the high flying style popular. Like, yeah, there were some people that did some flying. Ricky Steamboat did a little bit. No one forgets about Snuka jumping off the top of the cage. But where their whole style was centered around flying around, he was the first one. And he's the one that made me go, wow. He's incredible.
He made it believable that a little guy can beat the bigger guys.
Yes.
You're just like, well, just the stuff he's doing.
Yes.
That's why
he's just running circles around them.
Yeah.
He knows if they get a hold of him, he's done. He's just running circles around them.
And you know what? I always wanted a mask, and now that I'm adult and have adult money, I'm definitely going to buy one.
I think I'm going to get one.
I'm going to buy one.
I think I need to get
one. The 2 earliest moments I remember of Rey Mysterio was obviously, him wrestling Ultimo Dragon and Juventud and Psycho La Parka and all them. And Kevin Nash throwing him in that damn trailer.
For the NWO when he threw him like a spear.
He lawn darted him into the trailer. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
I remember Babyface Ray, too.
Yeah.
Remember Filthy Animals Ray? Without the mask?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he Babyface, he looked like a baby.
Yeah. He wanted... Yeah. All of them did. They took off when Juventud Guerrero lost his mask. I'm like, he looks like Michael Jackson.
Yeah. And I want to say this. I apologize to Ray, not for not making my list. You should have, but at least some honorable mentions. But I apologize for ever thinking that Sin Cara could one day be on your level.
Not even close.
That's what I said. I apologize. Yeah. He was a botch machine.
Oh yeah. People don't understand how hard that stuff is.
I understand.
Like, people don't understand. He botched. You realize that you don't have a lot of margin for error, and there's not take 2.
Yeah, I'm about to say there's no takes.
Yeah, it's not like a movie. You think they do it right every single time in a movie?
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
So,
all right. So number 8.
Number 8, I gotta go with the Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair,
no argument here.
Number 8.
All right, y'all just waiting for me to argue.
Of course you have.
Well, he's making that face, you obviously have an argument to make.
He's higher on my list. That's all I'm saying.
Same.
That's all I'm gonna say. He's a lot higher on my list.
Okay, cool. I thought you were gonna hate. But
I thought you was too.
I didn't gonna hate.
No.
Yeah, the face you made looked like
because he's a lot higher on my list than 8.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. I mean, the reason why I have him as 8 is because, 1, because he's holding on for too long. Dog, stop.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
And 2, I enjoyed Ric Flair, but there's so many more people I enjoyed more than him. But I couldn't just ignore him just because I enjoyed people more.
He said he wants another match. He's like,
Yeah, he's out of his
now?
mind.
He's like 75. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
He's already had, I think, several heart attacks. Sit your ass down.
Put down the sauce, Rick.
So, I mean,
still my dude.
Who you got?
Chris Jericho.
Okay.
Because, this high guy shit that he's doing is terrible. But
another one. He's higher on my list.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna argue. I love Jericho.
Like I hated when I was back in the '90s. I was a face guy, so I hated him in WCW.
Oh,
but I know he was great in WCW.
He's great.
I didn't start becoming a heel until Angle showed up and stuff.
I still can't forget 3 feuds. One, the mask when he was the mask collector and he beat he would call Juventud Guerrero Quasimodo, and he took Rey Mysterio's mask. 2, the feud with Dean Malenko where he had the list of 1,001 holds, and every other move was armbar. And the last one, this one is so obscure, but it just sticks in my memory. His feud with the Hawaiian wrestler Prince Iaukea, who also had a beautiful Northern Light suplex, but he always called him Prince Akimaki.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that feud stuck in my head for so long, but it was just great. But
Ayatollah of rock and roll.
Yeah. But I thought about Chris Jericho. If you look at my list here of names, he's on there, but he's not making top 10 solely.
You telling me he didn't make the list?
No.
Oh,
he did not make the list. He didn't make top 10 solely for his current run. And I'm not just talking about the most current, the high guys thing. I'm talking about his entire AEW run. Outside of the very early part, it just hasn't been good. The man, if anyone has seen that Simpsons commercial where episode where Marge found a Chanel business suit or something, and everyone loved it, but people started getting tired of it, so she kept sewing it.
She kept wearing it every day.
Yeah, and then she started sewing it from a business suit to a dress. She kept taking the same outfit and changing it to try to make it something different. That's literally what Jericho has done in AEW.
That's fair.
So
he started off with the Inner Circle.
Yes.
Okay.
Then the Jericho
Appreciation Society. Then whatever this is, the Learning Tree. Now, my biggest issue with that is name one person that was in any of those stables that came out a bigger star than they went in.
None. The closest one was Sammy. But he kind of self-destructed his own thing anyway. But
closest one was Sammy Guevara. He had the best current tag team in his group with Santana and Ortiz. How was he wrestling for the tag team titles instead of them?
Yeah.
Now, I'll say this. Chris Jericho is 54 years old.
So, yes, at this point, he should be trying to get people over.
So
instead of trying to make it shine on himself.
To be honest, at this point, he should be retired.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I can't sit there and say he should be retired when Sting was 60-something years old still wrestling.
And Sting should have been retired.
But Sting's run was actually pretty decent. Don't get me wrong.
But still. But I'm just saying. So I can't hold his current AEW run against him because he, like you said, it's like the same thing over and over. Mm-hmm. But in his time from WCW to WWE, he changed.
He was the master
times.
of reinventing himself.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So
he
much.
He was.
So to me, I'm like, I look at it at the end like, it might be bad, but I can't hold it against him. That's how I look. That's how.
But
I
I'm like
things.
that. But that's what kept him out of my top 10.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. He's still a top-notch performer.
Right.
I'm not saying he's trash now because of this run. I'm just saying it takes him out of the top 10 for me.
I got you.
Because I'd have had him around 9 or 10.
That's fair. So, is it just me now?
Yes, sir.
My number 8 is, we already talked about him, but the third generation superstar. The 3 most dangerous letters in wrestling. Mr. RKO himself.
Randy Orton.
Randall, Keith, Orton.
Randy Orton's turned out to be one of the greats. I can't argue with you there.
Just going down his list of accomplishments, to me, 14-time world champ, he's only surpassed by 2 people.
What, Cena and
Flair. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And he's still going strong.
Yes.
So we don't know if he can tie that or not. But
they're not going to let him.
Yeah, but he's still the man from the time he became the Legend Killer on. He's just, to me, but I liked him even before that when he was part of Evolution.
Yeah, great stable.
So one of the best.
See, that's what I'm talking about. The whole issue with Jericho, Evolution. Every single guy, obviously Flair was Flair, so he didn't need to become anything. Triple H was at his peak pretty much.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But both Batista and Orton came out of that group a bigger star than they went in.
Yeah, but you're talking about anomalies when you're talking about them. You know what I mean? Like, they were destined to be great.
I'm not saying that.
First of all, that whole class that they were in was great.
Oh,
that
yeah,
whole
absolutely.
OVW class was great. I mean, you talking
absolutely.
Them two, Cena Brock Lesnar, like Shelton Benjamin was in that group.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that these people should have come out looking like being all-time level performers. But the whole point of a stable is to get people bigger than where they were. And they weren't. When Santana and Ortiz came to AEW, they were already considered for one of the top tag teams in the world currently. By the time the not the Jericho Appreciation Society, the Inner Circle was done, they were an afterthought.
Fair enough. I mean,
So, not only did he not make them better, he didn't even keep them where they were at.
That's fair. Yeah, but I mean, I guess you could say the same knock on Randy Orton then, when he had that stable with Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes.
I disagree. Ted didn't go anywhere. Cody came out of that looking better.
Did he?
Yes.
Not very much.
I don't think so at all.
He didn't become a star. Don't get me wrong. By the time he left, when he left, what did they call it?
What was the name?
Stardust?
No.
What was the name of that group?
Legacy.
Legacy, yeah.
When he left Legacy, that's when he started getting the IC title runs and all of that. All he was before then was Bob Harley's tag team partner.
But I think Cody himself I've always liked Cody ever since dashing Cody Rhodes.
But and that was after Legacy.
Yeah.
That's
So,
what I'm saying.
but I think Cody was always destined to be here just because of his pure charisma.
Like, he's good.
Cody made everything good.
He was going to be good, but I'm saying by the time he was done, people were clamoring for Cody. They wanted Cody to turn on Randy Orton when he was being mistreated.
Fair enough.
He made them better. Now, did he make them as great of a star as they could have been? Probably not. But still, they came out better than where they were.
Right.
Speaking of Ted DiBiase, he still has one of the best intro songs of all time. I don't care what nobody says.
The original one?
That I come from money, I come from cash.
You talking about Junior or
Junior? Yeah, Junior.
I don't remember it.
That's how it went.
Ain't he in jail anyway?
Yeah, he is a awful person.
Yeah, ain't he in jail?
Starting to be a theme with wrestlers here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, not good.
All right, well, number 7.
I had Rey Mysterio, and we already talked about that. So
Rey Mysterio?
Yeah,
Rey Mysterio's
like
a good pick.
Number 7?
WCW, like you said, the whole mask and just...
No argument there?
No argument there.
It was Rey Mysterio.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is the charismatic enigma. Jeff Hardy.
Surprisingly not on my list.
So,
yeah, not on mine either.
When I grew up, every little boy wanted to be Jeff Hardy.
Absolutely.
We was swanton bombing off our bed or into the pool or wherever.
Dance,
like
but...
I just seen a thing where he said if he had made better life choices in his 20s, he'd have been bigger than John Cena. And I agree. Every little kid from where I was at wanted to be Jeff Hardy.
I disagree.
They would have had a great rivalry, probably.
Only
most likely.
I disagree only for one reason, and I'm not saying that he wouldn't have been a big star, because would he have been as more popular than fans than John Cena? Absolutely. Everybody wanted to be Jeff Hardy.
That's what he's talking about.
Would he have had the career that John Cena had? No.
Well, they was pushing Jeff. They had no problem pushing
Jeff,
him, but if you take away...
He had a ceiling in Vince's eyes. You could be a world title holder for a month or two, have a little run here and there, but you was never going to be the guy.
Like the long-term guy and stuff like that.
You were never going to be the guy.
What I'm saying is that kids-wise, like how kids love Cena, that's how we love Jeff Hardy. And, like, when, let's see, like 99, when he actually got speared in that tag team title match. Yeah, the TLC match.
From Edge, yeah.
I was in 10th grade. 10th grade, Jesus Christ.
I was in 10th grade,
I was
like
10. I was 10, and I was in 5th grade. Sorry, I meant to say I was 10. Everybody loved Jeff Hardy. We all loved Jeff Hardy. We all did the little stupid dance. We all, like...
Everyone loves Jeff Hardy.
People was wearing the little sleeves, the little, I 100% believe he could have been just as big with kids. So, but I agree with what you're saying with Vince and Bush team.
I agree with all of that. The only part I disagree with is his career in the ring. I don't think he would have been pushed.
Well, that's what he said. He said he feels if he made different life choices.
Yeah,
those was his
and
words,
I'm saying I disagree with that. Yeah. Would I have liked him to if he would have stayed clean and stuff? Absolutely, but I just don't think it would have happened. That's just my personal opinion.
Well,
knowing Vince, he doesn't like smaller guys. So
yeah, that's very true. But so I'm about to say Edge is a little bit bigger, so never mind.
Edge is much bigger. Yeah. Edge is like, what, 6'5"?
Yeah, Edge is huge, yeah. All right, who's your number 7?
My number 7?
Yep.
John Cena.
I can't argue that.
John Cena.
I can't argue that.
He's a good worker in the ring. Like we said earlier, that U.S. title run was great. But he's not the best in the ring.
I'll tell you what he used to do that used to piss me off. That sunset flip.
Are you talking about his horrible attempt at a Canadian Destroyer?
Canadian Destroyer, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Awful.
That was bad.
Absolutely awful.
It was terrible. Remember when he had the stupid little back fist punch as a finisher from when he went to China?
Yeah. The little, yeah. Oh, that was terrible. But
that was terrible too.
But when I wrestle with my sons, they love to wrestle all the time. The AA is still my go-to.
Yeah, that's a great.
I liked
move.
it when it was called the FU, but
yeah, he had to.
As
he's
a shot
cleaning up
Brock.
For the PG era.
Yeah, he had to clean up his image.
It was a shot at Brock when he did it, but
he's Mr. United Way, Make a Wish. You can't be Mr. Make a Wish with a move called the FU.
I think the only thing missing for me to put Cena in the top 10 is a solid heel run.
Which they wouldn't do. And WrestleMania 29 was the perfect moment for him to do it. And Vince dropped the ball again.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it, but
ruthless aggression.
I mean, he was a heel when he was the Doctor of Thugonomics. It's just people found him funny.
Yeah. But
he started off as a heel.
But him turning heel, him he would have went heel at that WrestleMania.
After he lost to The Rock, he should have turned heel.
That would have been perfect.
Yes, it would have been.
He should have turned heel.
Yeah. So,
number 6 now.
Number 6? Who's sparking it off? Me?
I'm good.
Okay.
My number 6, we already spoke about him, Chris Jericho. First ever undisputed champion.
He beat The Rock and Stone Cold
in the same night. Him showing up in the middle of The Rock's promo is still one of the best intros.
Oh yeah, that's a great debut.
Like
interrupting arguably the biggest star.
I remember
and going toe to toe with him on the mic.
I remember for months that countdown coming up, that and you're
walls.
like, what is this countdown? What is this? And him showing up, it was phenomenal. So I have always loved Chris Jericho. Even
like I said,
he's
I
the
love
first
Jericho.
ever AEW champion.
Like I'm saying, I love Jericho. I just his current run has dropped him out of the top 10 for me.
Well, for me, he's at 6. He's one of my all-time favorites. So
he's just not top 10 for me.
Do you like when he did the tag team with Big Show?
Jericho.
Jericho.
Yeah. You know what? Everything he's done in his time in WWE and WCW, I love. Like I said, I haven't
Right.
delved too much into AEW to give him a fair shake, but. I mean, he was always entertaining. Even at the end of it, you just made the list.
You just made the list.
Like,
it's so ridiculous that it works.
Yeah. Like you said, he was like a model for reinventing himself during his time. During his WWE run. So
yes, he's the master of reinvention. I will not take that away from him.
Yeah.
All right. Am I 6 now?
Yep.
I got The Rock at 6.
Rock at 6.
I know he wasn't like the greatest like technical wrestler, obviously, but his charisma was off through the fucking roof.
Absolutely.
The way he talked on the mic, just all the insults he used to do, whether he was heel or whether he was face, and obviously his matches with Stone Cold during the Attitude Era was just top notch. Like I can't.
So how you mentioned Hulk got you into wrestling?
Yeah.
Rock got me into wrestling.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
He's higher on my list.
Got you.
He's higher on my list.
Yeah, so because he's the Rock.
But
Right?
yeah, but I got him at 6. The Rock concerts were great.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. When he was Hollywood Rock.
Oh yeah.
And he would sit there with the guitar and say, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
His insults. He used to stay on Coach.
Yeah.
Oh man. Coach and Kevin Kelly.
Kevin.
Oh yep.
Coach had a good theme, by the way. I like Coach.
He had us saying stuff that didn't make sense, like "you Rudy Poo candy ass." Like,
And yeah, that literally doesn't mean anything, but we still said it
No.
like we knew it meant something.
No, I was like, I had to be like 10. Like, I love Poontang Pie.
Poontang Pie.
Didn't know what I was talking about.
Right.
But The Rock said it, so it had to be cool.
Had to be cool.
So
he was the model of just cool.
absolutely.
So that's my
So
6.
that's not a bad pick, but I
got him a little higher.
I have him higher too.
I have
So
him higher.
yeah.
But my 6, I think y'all might have him higher. HBK.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely have him
got
higher.
him higher.
Definitely have him higher. I mean, the Heartbreak Kid,
Yep.
not
Shawn
in the
Michaels.
top 5 is crazy.
Not in the top 5.
That is crazy.
And I know you're going to disagree with me with some of the names I have in the top 5.
I'm yes, because you don't have
It's-
HBK up there.
Especially since some of the stuff you said earlier. So
That's insane. But
HBK in the top 5.
we'll get to him later because clearly me and Tim also got him higher.
Yeah, he's higher up. Yeah.
You got him higher.
Yeah,
I'm just
got
like,
him
he's
higher,
a great worker,
Absolutely.
great
Amazing
character,
worker.
good on the mic. Like, don't get me wrong, he's not bad. I just got a couple people above him
That's
that
fine.
I think had done a little bit here and there.
We
that
gonna
I
have to
think
argue
just
about
puts him
that.
above.
And you can't think of a WrestleMania match without him in it. Like with him, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like, yeah,
Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break him down in a little bit, but
Okay.
No argument. No argument
Yeah,
there.
he's my number 6.
number 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 5?
Go ahead, Tom.
Oh, HBK. I got him at 5.
I disagree again.
Oh my god. I got him at 5. He has the second greatest heel turn of all time, kicking Marty Jannetty through the barbershop
Absolutely.
window.
First of all, Marty Jannetty tried to run away. He tried to run through that glass.
But I can't deny his greatness. Him at WrestleMania 12 when he ziplined down.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the all white, white
Yeah,
and gold
man.
on. He was-
Just
The boyhood
again,
dream.
when he won his first Rumble, I was so upset because again, I was a face guy, so I wanted Davey Boy Smith to win so bad. Then when he threw him over and he was hanging,
Yep.
and then then he came
Skin
up,
the cat.
and then he came and knocked him
Oh,
off.
the 1 foot on the ground
Yeah.
and he like twisted and got
but
back up in.
but yeah, I just love HBK, and like you can't deny his greatness. You just can't, just
It's hilarious. So you had him at 6.
Yes.
You got him at 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have him at 4.
yeah. But yeah, just like all his WrestleMania matches, whether if it's Undertaker or Kurt Angle or Jericho, they're all great.
Amazing.
They're all great.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
I agree.
my number 5, I got Sting. I know we already spoke about Sting, but
You got him that high. Wow.
dude, Sting
Is incredible.
Sting for me growing up was so from remember WCW versus NWO Revenge, the video games. I always pick
right
Sting.
Over there.
Always pick Sting.
Pick Sting too.
Always pick Sting.
I didn't always pick Sting. I had 3 people I picked. Picked Sting.
Yeah.
Picked Rey Mysterio. I picked Ultimo Dragon.
And they all were the same size, by the way.
They all fought like
they were all the same size. But so I think my first ever wrestling action figure was Sting with the red face paint, the leather coat, and the bat.
The Wolfpack Sting.
Everything about when Sting first was in the ring and he took off the mask, and it was a mask of Sting, and then he was Sting under it. It was so stupid, but I was like, I loved everything about Sting.
Right.
Like to me, he was like my John Cena. Like the way kids feel about John Cena. Like,
Yeah.
So that's why he's so high on my list.
And then watching him take out like 20 men at one time was great.
Right.
Yeah.
But now, granted, I did say he should be moving up a spot. Everyone should have been moved up, and Kurt Angle should have been my 5.
Gotcha.
But I had already mentioned Kurt Angle. So,
Okay. My number 5 is Bryan Danielson.
Excellent wrestler.
Bryan Danielson does everything that pretty much every other wrestler that I put on my list so far can do, and does it even better for the most part.
I'm going to tell you why he didn't make my top 10. He drives a Prius, and I hate Prius drivers. They are the worst drivers in the world, and that's more than enough reason for me to leave him off my top 10.
With his wrestling career?
Because he drives a Prius. I hate Prius drivers. I don't wish anything bad on any group of people except for Prius drivers.
That makes sense.
You know what? I hope your dad buys your daughter a Prius now.
They always driving slow in the fast lane. Like, move over.
Yeah, that's annoying.
But like, anyway, great in the ring.
Amazing.
One of the best technical wrestlers.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very entertaining on the mic.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Like everyone used to try to say, "Oh, he didn't have charisma." I'm sorry.
That yes movement was unbelievable.
The yes movement, the team hell no.
Yeah.
That stuff was hilarious.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Him and Kane in group therapy with Scorpio Sky as Harold was absolutely hilarious.
This is why, because of people like him, is why this list was so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I felt bad leaving guys. Like, that's why he was in my honorable mentions. I'm like, but he deserves to be on the list, so I can't argue with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Bryan Danielson is fantastic in the ring. He can work a great match with just about anyone.
Absolutely.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, and I personally just liked him more than HBK. That's why he's above HBK in my mind.
That's who trained Bryan Danielson too.
And don't forget William Regal.
And another great.
William Regal also helped him wrestle.
We didn't put him in honorable mention.
If we were going technical wrestlers, he would be.
Yeah.
But overall package, William Regal, I don't think he's an honorable mention. I love William Regal. Great wrestler.
Yeah.
Great character. He's funny. He can be funny when he wants to be. But
You think that kiss my ass shit ruined his career?
I wouldn't say it ruined his career. I would say his
Vince was
personal,
a weirdo.
Well,
and
absolutely.
Well, yeah, but his personal issues ruined his career as well. Because he was getting a great push later in his WWE run. He won the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to get a good big push, but then he tested
up
positive
again.
for something.
Yeah, that's right.
He was one of the first wrestlers I truly hated.
In WCW when he was Steven Regal?
No. In WWE, truly hate. Like, I did not want to see him win. Like I said, I was still young.
Yeah.
But him pulling out the brass knuckles.
Oh, that was great.
He's such a cheater.
Yeah.
It was still real to me at that time.
Yeah,
So,
right. I got you. Yeah.
I truly hated him.
I loved William Regal.
So, he's amazing.
And I love when he went off on Triple H when he's making fun of Eugene. Like, I am a villain, but I will pull every little bit of villain I got in me to take you down. I'm like, I love it. I love it. But yeah, Bryan Danielson. Did everyone get 5s?
Yeah, we did our 5.
The HBK 5.
Okay, so we got 4.
Yes,
I'll just start it off since I already said it. My 4 is Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
2-time Hall of Famer, DX. You know, he's won Pro Wrestling Illustrated's Match of the Year 11 times.
Oh, wow.
11 times he's had Match of the Year.
Man.
That's crazy.
That's wild. That is wild.
That's how good he was.
And the Rockers was a great tag team, too.
They were solid.
They were, but
they were solid. They were. I think they were great,
but you could tell he was the above him.
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was more talented.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
But we spoke on him, and we didn't mention the ladder match between him and Razor Ramon.
WrestleMania 10.
Amazing match.
Amazing match.
Just his matches with the Undertaker, him crying before he Sweet Chin Music Ric Flair and saying like, I'm sorry like,
I love you. Such a great moment.
Absolutely. Him showing up, him and the rest of DX invading WCW.
Yeah.
I love Shawn Michaels, and there's no way he could not make my top 5.
Nothing wrong with that. So that was your 4, right?
Yeah, that's my 4.
I got Stone Cold at 4.
4.
Okay.
Yeah, because one, he was a really good worker.
Amazing worker.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. Everyone just take note of him for the stunner, the stomp, and then when he jumped on top, you can
the Luthez press with the punch. But no, he's a really good worker.
Good worker, great talker. The what shit was hilarious. What? But there was one Raw where they had him wrestle Benoit, and he like out wrestled Benoit so bad. It was like, but it was obviously the story. But that's the first time I really could realize like, wow, Austin really can work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I know like I didn't really watch him in WCW, but I know like when he did the Hollywood Blondes, I know he really liked that tag team. But of course, Bischoff scrapped it and whatever. But
I'm interested to see who your top 3 are with Austin not making the top 3.
Okay.
So.
We'll get there. It's coming.
Yeah,
up,
I know.
But yeah, just when you watch Attitude Era, you tune in for Austin.
Yeah.
Like even when he went heel at 17, was that when he went heel? WrestleMania 17.
I don't remember exactly which WrestleMania it was.
That's when the whole thing started, and then he was with Vince, and he was getting sick.
He's part of the Authority.
Deborah's Cookies. He got sick of it, and then he would just be belittling Taz and Sean Stasiak. And
that's when Kurt Angle hit them with the milk truck.
Yeah. $1 Million Princess, a Dairy Queen.
Yep.
but yeah, that's my number 4 though. So
yeah, my number 4 is AJ Styles.
Oh, you know what? Yes.
Right.
Yes.
AJ Styles, from top to bottom, in my mind, he is the second best in-ring worker, period.
Who you have was 1?
You'll see
get to that later? Okay. All right. Well,
he's the second best in-ring worker, period, in my mind. He was okay as a character in TNA, but when he came to WWE, his character work took off.
Completely.
When he was the little cocky little character and stuff, and everyone kept making fun of his Karen hair, he was incredible. His feud with Samoa Joe was absolutely incredible. AJ Styles is a monster, and he deserves his flowers.
That's fair.
I agree 100% with you, and I really don't.
That's how I feel about Steamboat. So yeah, I got you.
So I wanted to let's see. So AJ Styles has been good since I was in high school.
AJ Styles first started wrestling in WCW in 2001.
When it was basically at the end.
Right before they died.
I was in middle school. My 5-year-old's favorite wrestler today is AJ Styles.
AJ Styles.
That's how long he's been good.
Yes.
That's crazy
to think about. He's not called phenomenal for no reason. That man is great.
Sire loves him.
AJ Styles is incredible.
Yeah. When he showed up in WWE,
it
was at that point.
My mind. That debut at the Royal Rumble, they blew the camera work on it.
Yeah.
But it was great because they released a different angle on YouTube where they showed the Titantron where it says "I am," and then Phenomenal shows up, and everyone lost their shit. And you were at my house when he debuted. And we're sitting there like, yo, who is this? I don't know who this is. I don't know this music.
And when I remember it saying Phenomenal, we were like,
no, we didn't. It didn't show us. We didn't see that angle.
It said it. Well, he was already out by the time it said it.
Yeah, it didn't show that angle. We heard everyone lose their shit. They were showing Roman Reigns' face, and everyone's losing their shit, and we're like, what? What is it? And then they showed him walking out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, it's AJ Styles.
And he flipped the hood. I remember going into. I thought that was the death of every company outside of WWE. I was like, this is it. No one can compete with them anymore. I was like, this is it. I was like, they have AJ Styles.
AJ Styles is incredible, and his run was good. I still feel he deserves a couple more world title runs there, but they gave him at least one, which is better than how they treated Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
So now that you said it, that is another person that, again, at least should have been in my honorable mentions.
Exactly.
That's good.
AJ Styles is that good.
Yeah. So
when The Undertaker literally said, "Hey, I'm trying to have my last match. Who should I work with?" and everyone's like, "AJ Styles."
Yeah.
It's 100% who you should work with.
Yeah.
And that little cinematic match that they had was good.
Right.
And AJ Styles was all smug and it was great, and I loved it. AJ Styles is by far one of the best wrestlers ever. He is my second best in-ring performer of all time.
No arguments. So, what was that? That was 4?
That was 4.
Yeah, now we're on 3.
We're on 3. I'll start it off. I got The Rock. The Rock's number 3. You can't even mention professional wrestling without The Rock being brought up.
Yes.
Like, his ring work is solid. He's good. He's way more athletic than people give him credit for. Like, you got to remember when he first came, his finisher was that Maivia Hurricane, that float over DDT.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's 6'5".
Right.
That's not easy.
He played defensive end for Miami U.
He was D-tackle.
Yeah. D-tackle. Oh, was he D-tackle?
He was a D-tackle.
That's even more impressive.
Warren Sapp took his spot.
Wow.
Warren Sapp came onto the roster and took his spot as D-tackle.
He makes me want to work out.
He
does.
He really makes me want to work out.
Dude, I've been watching Ballers lately. he's so jacked.
Yeah.
But
he's huge.
His sliding people's elbow
with the shoes on.
Oh my! It's still one of my favorite wrestling
on Davey Boy.
Oh yeah.
That's still one of my favorite.
It's great.
I caught his elbow pad as a kid.
Oh, you lucky bastard!
Yeah.
And you don't have it no more, do you?
No.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
No.
See, I never got to go to a wrestling event as a kid. I only went.
I was there when Mankind got pushed off the cage too.
I have so many friends.
Hell in a Cell, yeah.
I have so many friends who's like, I was there, and I'm like, fuck.
I was up in the nosebleeds, but I seen it happen.
We had the cable box,
the chip box.
Yeah, the scrambler thing. Yeah, we had that. So I watched it on that.
Yeah.
Was it my turn for 3?
Yeah.
I got Macho Man at 3.
No argument.
Yeah,
I love Macho Man.
I love Macho Man.
Again, as a kid, you were taught to hate Macho Man. You know what I mean? It was
I don't remember that.
When I was a kid, it was.
I remember loving him.
It was Hogan, blah blah blah. But again, but as I got older, I'm like, Macho Man was great.
Only time I was taught to hate Macho Man was when he, kind of hit Miss Elizabeth. Outside of that.
But yeah, I got him at 3. Just
great in-ring worker, great character,
great
great promos,
great promo.
Yeah,
the elbow drop is iconic because of him.
Right. Oh yeah, and all his promos with Miss Elizabeth when he would tell her to shut up. He's like, I wasn't talking to you. Then you said something else. And you just, between him and Mean Gene, when they all do their little promos, that shit used to be hilarious.
He's the only reason I eat Slim Jims.
Literally.
Yeah. Put it on the map, man.
Now LA Knight is doing the commercials for him.
Right. But I know,
great character.
His WCW.
I said great character, Macho Man.
His WCW run towards the end wasn't that great when they had Kevin Nash dump sewage on him and all that crap.
Yeah.
But still, I'll never, his match with Steamboat is fantastic.
Everyone talks about that match.
Even his match with Trash Ultimate Warrior was good. He carried the hell out of that match.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Just the mega powers, just all that stuff. Just even whenever he won at WrestleMania 4, he couldn't even really share the moment because who was there? Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan had to be in the middle of it.
Of course, Hogan has to be.
It was just like, bruh, go away.
Hogan's ego is outrageous.
But yeah, I got Macho Man at 3 for me. So.
All right.
Me?
Yeah.
I said my 3.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. The Rock.
Oh yeah.
That's right. That's your
All right. Well, on the other end, my number 3 is the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I thought you were gonna say Jake the Snake. And that's something you said Rattlesnake. Like, I forgot Stone Cold's middle name, nickname. I forgot.
No. I got Stone Cold, the only 3-time Royal Rumble winner. Mr. King of the Ring. Well, when he won King of the Ring, that's when he gave us the Stone Cold 316.
Austin 316 says, "I just whipped your ass."
Yeah, I remember.
Changed the world that night.
Iron Man match with Bret Hart.
I used to have with the blood running down.
Yep.
The blood running down his face.
Yep.
I used to have a poster of him on my wall, and then I had a Goldberg one right next to it. That said,
Who's
Goldberg?
next?
No. Was it Austin? It was 316, and then it was Goldberg 732. It was just saying that he was better than Austin.
That's just a weird poster though.
Yeah,
that's just weird.
Yeah.
It said who's next on it too, but
Yeah, but
he wasn't better than Austin at all.
No.
But yeah, I mean, what more can you say about Austin? He to me, I feel he brought in the Attitude Era.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I feel he was the catalyst that
I agree.
He made it cool to be the person that
fights
hates
against
your
authority.
boss. Yeah.
Fights against authority.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I was young and he had us, giving people the middle finger. And all types of stuff.
Wasn't he actually supposed to be a heel, but he got over so bad that
he was supposed to be a heel to Mr. McMahon, but one, people didn't like Vince because of the whole Montreal screw job.
Right.
And two, just during that era of time, it was a very fight against the machine type thing going on in the country. So it just resonated that, no, we're fighting against the authority type thing. And it just took off from there.
I seen somewhere where somebody told him, like, you'll never get over just wearing black boots and black knee pads and black, trunks.
Right.
Like, it'll never happen. And he was like, all right. And obviously it did. Like, what I mean?
Yeah,
the head shake, everything. The stunner is one of my all-time favorite finishers. Like, it's not even that it's just great. It's just it was iconic.
Yeah, it was just iconic.
You know what I mean? So
for sure.
All right, and I'll go right into my number 2. My number 2 is, and these are reversed for me. To me, they're 1 and 2, 1A, 1, 2. I mean, I'm sorry, 2A.
You mean 1A, 1B?
1A, 1B. I can't
go.
talk today. Yeah, but it is The Rock. When it comes to the Attitude Era, I feel like you can't mention Stone Cold without mentioning The Rock. But I was one of the people who I preferred The Rock.
I like The Rock better, but I also recognize that Stone Cold was the bigger star, so to speak.
I can agree with that, but Rock also did more after Stone Cold.
Agreed.
So that's why I have The Rock a little higher. I felt since he kept going, and to me, he's always been entertaining. Like, I always wanted to be like The Rock. I didn't want to be like Stone Cold for obvious reasons. But to me, I just always preferred The Rock.
I did too.
So that's why I have The Rock higher. Like, he's my. And, the fact that I didn't have him at number 1 even perplexed Jazz. And I was like, he's never been my favorite wrestler. There's always been one person higher. But, So
I know who your number 1 is.
Do you, though?
Yeah, I think we got the same number 1.
I don't
but
think
anyway,
we do. But go ahead.
My number 2 is Steve. Like, everything you said, literally. And honestly, from what you just said, I'm kind of tempted to switch my 3 and 2 around and make The Rock number.
So you have them 3 and 2, and I have them 2 and 3.
Yeah,
they're right there.
So I'm thinking about switching The Rock and Stone Cold around, because you're right. I always did like Rock better. But for right now, I'll just leave it as it is. Yeah. I got Steve Austin as 2. I just felt he was the bigger star as far as wrestling goes. Mm-hmm. But you are right. The Rock's done more later. No, fuck it. The Rock's 2. Stone Cold's 3.
So I think if we're just talking just strictly wrestling, I would agree. Steve is the bigger star. But The Rock transcended wrestling.
The Rock transcended wrestling, but also, like you said, he's come back and done more.
Yeah.
The final boss Rock from this past year was fantastic.
I love his music and everything.
His music was great. His Instagram promos were top tier. He
loved the F-bomb.
Oh yeah. He was going off on Instagram before shows. And they were fantastic. I will never forget when he said, "Off is the direction in which you can fuck." I'm like, that is the most creative way to say "fuck off" I've ever heard in my life. But it was great. Off is the direction which you can fuck.
I loved everything.
The final boss was great.
Growing up, like I said earlier, if The Rock said something, I was repeating it later. I used to raise my eyebrow. I always wanted to be like The Rock.
I could never do the eyebrow. I always had to go like this. I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, he's definitely my 2.
Yeah, I'm switching him around. He's my 2 now.
My number 2 is Pittsburgh's own Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah,
he's a great wrestler. He's a great wrestler.
The WrestleMania 19 match with Brock Lesnar was just unbelievable.
Great match. With a broken freaking neck.
Remember he almost killed Shane?
Yeah.
Trying to throw him through the
glass.
That was King of the Ring.
King of the Ring.
Yep.
King of the Ring.
Like, it's just... I can't argue it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, he should at least be my 5. Kurt Angle's so good, man.
Yeah. So good.
So good.
So good.
And his freestyle with John Cena was great.
Oh my God. No.
And he put that broken neck freestyle in there too, like you said.
I want to go metal with a
broken freaking neck.
No, yeah, I love Kurt Angle, man.
Yeah.
So,
one of my favorite moves with Angle, other than the Angle Slam, was when they be on the rope and he would run up, catch him, and do the belly.
The suplex
suplex.
top
Yeah,
rope, run
man.
up the rope.
I'm like, I'm like creative as hell.
Great.
So,
I'm not gonna have much of an argument with that there.
All right, did we all do our 2s?
That was all.
Yeah.
Now we're on 1
Who wants to kick off their 1?
I'll kick it off.
All right.
My number 1 is Pittsburgh's own Kurt Angle.
They're good.
All
I knew
right.
Kurt was on your list. You're like, no,
I said
I feel like Kurt should be on every list. That's why I'm like, when I looked at it, I was like, no, Kurt should be here.
AJ Styles was the second best worker in the overall worker in the history of wrestling. Kurt Angle's number 1.
I agree.
It doesn't matter what type of match you want to do, he can do it. The man was doing 450 splashes. The man can moonsault 450 splashes. Shooting star presses, he did those. You want to work hardcore matches, he did those. You want to do technical, obviously he can do that. The man can do any type of match with anybody. His TNA run is so underrated. It was freaking phenomenal. Even while he was battling demons.
He was the reason I watched TA.
Yes.
Obviously, AJ and Samoa Joe.
Yes. His feud with Samoa Joe and TNA was absolutely fantastic. His character work. He was a great character.
Absolutely.
From day one. He showed up. You're like, who is this goofy milk and cookies dude? Then he's sitting there talking like, I drink my cookies and I'm all about the 3 I's: intensity, integrity, and intelligence. Like, he was the goofy guy. He could do anything. He can make you laugh, but he can also believe that he will tear your head off. When he became mouth guard Kurt, you're like, hey, all right, he's in Olympic mode. He's gonna hurt you.
Yeah, he was the first. He was like the first heel actually. Like, he's the reason I started liking heels when he first came over. When he first started in WWE, he was a heel.
Yeah,
and that's when Stephanie was all like, "Oh, it's helping him win matches and all that crap." And I was like, I was like, okay, I like Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle was
liking heels after that.
Yeah, Kurt Angle was a top tier wrestler, top tier in pretty much everything.
Absolutely.
There's nothing you can say that he couldn't do.
Absolutely.
Nothing.
Yeah.
He had incredible matches with everybody. His match with Brock, like you said, the matches he had with Eddie Guerrero were great.
Yes, they was.
The feud he had with Edge was great.
Yep.
Like, it was all great. Kurt Angle, in my opinion, is the complete package of a wrestler.
I would
there
agree.
is nothing that he couldn't do.
I agree 100% with you. Who's your number one, Tim?
We got the same number one, dog. You know, just said.
I-
The Nature Boy.
I'm talking about the Rolex wearing.
That's right.
Diamond ring wearing. Kiss stealing. Woo! Willie Dillon.
I gotta give
Son of a gun.
I gotta give it to Flair for number one. Again,
Yes, sir.
As a kid, I hated him, but he was who he was. He wasn't for kids. He was for who he was, and just.
When the WWE Network first came out, I went back and watched a lot of like
The Dusty
old
Rhodes
stuff.
NWA stuff.
This man was holding hour-long matches every night like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And he never got boring. He was that good.
The Four Horsemen stable, just
5 times he won the match of the year, Pro Illustrated. 4 times he had the feud of the year. The man is 16 world championships. The Nature Boy, man. He is. I always wanted one of them robes, but I know I can't afford it.
Yeah, I feel you on that one, bro. I feel you on that one.
Literally, I can't disagree with anything you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just I like the people I put above him more than him. That's literally all it is. I liked those people more than I like Flair.
I'm surprised we agreed on number one.
Yeah.
And
I think one of the very first matches I watched of Ric Flair was I watched with my dad. It was a Bash at the. It was a great. The one where Sting beat him with the small package. I was young as hell. It was like 1989 or 1990. I can't. It was the one where Flair let him get over on him. It was the Surfer Sting. I can't think if it was Starrcade 1990 or Bash at the Beach.
That early it had to be like Starrcade because Bash at the Beach and stuff was later.
Yeah, so it was
that
Starrcade.
was more during the Attitude Era. Type, Monday Night Wars.
Like that was one of the first times I ever remember really seeing Flair wrestle.
Yeah.
He was already in his 40s by then.
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
Then, so like,
and literally had to change his entire style because he broke his back.
Yeah.
In a plane crash.
Is that why he always, when they flip him, he always fall on his one side all the time?
Probably.
Because every time they do like a the drop where he always falls on his right side. And,
maybe, I don't know.
To me, even in his 50s, there was no reason for him to still be that good.
I agree.
Even
and
the
that's
match with
why.
Undertaker.
Yep, that's why he's my number one. I'm like, this dude, legacy, like you said. There was no reason. He'd be like 55.
Yeah.
There was no reason for him to still be that good.
Yeah.
And so, to me, when I think of pro wrestling, I know there's people that will think of Hulk Hogan. Screw you. I think of Ric Flair.
Well, I can't blame them for thinking of Hulk Hogan because he was pushed in our face.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Now, I will still say screw Hulk. I'm not going to say screw the person because that's just what they're shown. You associate with whatever you see. That doesn't mean he's good. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
Well, these are facts, which I said already earlier.
But yeah, like I'm not mad at y'all having Flair at number one. I just like the people I put
That's
better.
fine.
Diamonds are forever, and so is Ric Flair.
I'm surprised no one put Dusty Rhodes like in an honorable mention or anything, or because his matches with Flair were great.
So I didn't really get to watch too much. Dusty
that's my thing.
Like, Flair wrestled so long that I was able to catch him.
Yeah, that's what.
Right.
That's what the best of Dusty Rhodes was when I was a toddler or not born.
Not even here, same.
Yeah, and then
Vince had him in the fucking polka dots and shit. And,
with Sapphire.
No.
That's also why I don't have like Bruno Sammartino up there.
Yeah,
I know they're great.
Bruno match.
Yeah, I know you're great wrestlers, and I'm not trying to diminish anything they've accomplished. But I didn't get to watch them.
We didn't watch them, so that's good.
I can't speculate on what I haven't seen.
Right.